And that cost of living crisis is even having an impact on Australians being able to afford their medicines. They're being forced to sacrifice seeing the doctor or getting their prescriptions filled to put food on the table. This is according to the Australian Bureau of Statistics' latest patient experiences survey. Patrick, this trend is evident in lower socio-economic areas, but it's also evident in middle income areas where between 7.5% and 9% of people delayed or did not get a prescription filled or see a doctor purely because of cost.
Yeah, look, I think it's a very telling number, isn't it? I mean, we saw it during COVID when people didn't go to the doctor, they didn't go and get symptoms tested, they got sicker, they got cancer, they died, whereas they might have been saved. And this is terrifying. People are basically making the choice, well, I don't want to do what's best for me and my body and my family because I can't afford it. I think it's a very telling statistic that it goes a long way to sort of explaining where Australians are.
And I think if you look at that in the middle income areas and you're going, oh, well, it's 7.5% to 9%, it's not that much. That's plenty. That is hundreds of thousands of people potentially. That is a worrying figure, and it's going in the wrong direction. Now, Xi Jinping has praised Anthony Albanese for the turnaround in the relationship between Australia and China. In a meeting between the two leaders at the G20 summit, he said, I wish to work with you, Mr. Prime Minister, to make our comprehensive strategic partnership more mature, stable and fruitful and project more stability and certainty to the region and the wider world. Goodness me. Patrick, why is Beijing cozying up to Anthony Albanese? This is not isolated. There's been a few comments in recent weeks that have all been very complimentary for the Prime Minister.
Yes, it is quite a turnaround. And I think it's a very simple answer. It's called Donald Trump.
Yes.
Basically, he's going to impose tariffs. China suddenly thought, wow, well, that $20 billion worth of Australian products that we banned over the last 2 years, maybe we actually need those. Let's try and pretend to be friends. Look, you've got all these human rights issues. You've got Taiwan. You've got the sabre rattling that goes on and on. China needs Australia's help in this instance, and that's why he's probably being a little bit more, civilised, let's say, in his take on Australia.
Yeah, China doesn't like it when that economic coercion is used against them, and that's what the US is going to do, and that's what Donald Trump did so effectively, not just in weakening China, but in weakening countries like Iran, because he went to China and said, if you buy Iranian oil, then we're going to slap a massive tariff on all your goods, and they stopped buying Iranian oil. So it's going to be just a fascinating 4 years to see how things are done, because it's going to be markedly different to even what we saw between 2016 and 2020, I think. He's learned from that time.